and remain calm in any situation. Once, King Rahugana was traveling to Kapilashrama. The palanquin carriers needed the help of another man. Seeing Bharat, who was young and strong, they approached him.
Hey, strong man, carry our king's palanquin.
Yes, of course. I'm happy to serve.
As Bharat was walking, carrying the palanquin, he could not keep pace with the other carriers. Since he was careful not to step on any ants, hence the palanquin was shaking.
Why are you carrying this palanquin unevenly? Better carry it properly.
Okay, we are doing our duty properly. This new man is not walking along with us.
How troublesome this is, my dear brother. You appear very fatigued because you have carried this palanquin for a very long time and for a long distance. You are very old, and I see that you are not very firm, nor very strong or stout. Aren't your fellow carriers cooperating with you?
Unaffected by this sarcastic criticism from the king, Bharat continued to carry the palanquin.
You rascal! What are you doing? Are you dead despite the life within your body? Don't you know that I am your master? You are disregarding me and not carrying out my order. For this disobedience, I shall now punish you.
My dear king, whatever you have spoken sarcastically is true. The load carried by the body is not mine, since I am the spirit soul. I have not labored carrying the palanquin, for I am detached from the body. The body may be fat or thin, but no learned man would say such things of the spirit soul. Fatness, thinness, bodily and mental distress, thirst, hunger, fear, disagreement, desires for material happiness, old age, sleep, attachment for material possessions, anger, lamentation, illusion and identification of the body with the self. All these relate to the material covering of the spirit soul and affect a person absorbed in the material conception of life. But I am free from all bodily conceptions. Today you are a king and I am your servant, but tomorrow the position might change and I might become your king. All this is temporary. I am a self-realized person, and even if you punish me, there will be no effect. Tell me, what can I do for you?
Oh Brahmana, who are you? Are you a saintly person? Whose disciple are you? Where do you live? Why have you come here? I am not afraid of anything, but I am certainly afraid of offending a Brahmana. Why are you wandering around like a dullard? Please explain. What is the most secure shelter in this world? And how can I advance in spiritual life?
In a previous birth, I was known as Maharaj Bharat. I attained perfection by becoming completely detached from material activities and through an understanding from the Vedas. I was fully engaged in the service of the Lord, but due to my misfortune, I became very affectionate to a small deer that I neglected my spiritual duties. Due to my deep affection for the deer, in my next life, I was born as a deer. But due to my sincere service to the Lord, I could remember everything from a past life, even in the body of a deer. And since I'm aware of my mistakes from the past life, I always keep myself separate from the association of ordinary men. Being afraid of their bad materialistic association, I wander alone, unnoticed by others. The uncontrolled mind is like an uncontrolled elephant. When it is absorbed in sense gratification, a person goes through pleasures and suffering in the material situation. However, when the mind is unattached to material enjoyment, it leads to liberation. Please try to conquer the mind by the weapon of service to the lotus feet of the spiritual master and of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do this with great care. The absolute truth is only revealed to the one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. In an assembly of pure devotees, there is discussion only of the qualities, forms, and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is praised and worshipped with full attention. By constantly hearing such topics respectfully, a person becomes attached to the service of Vasudeva. Dear King, you are also a victim of material pleasures. I advise you to give up attraction to the sense objects and take up the sword of knowledge sharpened by devotional service. Through the association of devotees, one can engage in the service of the Lord by hearing and chanting. Thus one can revive his dormant Krishna consciousness and return home, back to the Godhead.
This birth as a human being is the best of all. Even birth among the demigods is not as glorious as birth as a human being, since there is no chance of associating with devotees. By associating with you just for a moment, I am now freed from all arguments and false prestige. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the great personalities, whether they walk on this earth as children, young boys, avdutas, or great brahmanas. Even if they are hidden under different guises, I offer my respect to all of them.
King Rahugana thus understood the constitutional position of the soul. Whoever takes shelter of the servant of the Lord is certainly glorified and is on the path to liberation.